This is episode 2 of Will It Cheddar. Today's secret ingredient is everything bagel seasoning. We're going to see if our favorite seasoning is cheddarable. So we've got about 5 gallons of milk going straight into the cheese pot. 2 of those gallons are straight from the tap from this morning's milk. So we love everything bagel, everything about it. Everything bagel seasoning is just really good, but we figured how would this fare in a cheddar cheese? To capture that flavor, we decided to make sort of a tea, everything bagel tea, and that's just simmering some water with that everything bagel seasoning. We did that for about 10 minutes. Yeah, we did it for about 10 minutes. We brought it to a boil, and then we let it cool down, and we cleaned up the kitchen during that time.
Nice jugs.
So I'm not going to say we 100% cleaned that kitchen, but it was good enough. We good enough. We got some jars put away, and I was able to put that brine away. That nasty water right there is actually a brine for another cheese that we made earlier this week.
I don't know how I feel about this. Oh no.
That everything bagel tea looked so gross. And it was really strong smelling too, but the look was gross. Even the seeds were all just kind of pale in color and stuff. And it just left this nasty black water behind. But when in Rome, we're going to just keep on going with it. And at that point, our milk was ready to add our culture. It was about 84, 85 degrees, which is the perfect temperature for your culture. We're using an MM100 culture, and we're letting that culture for about 45 minutes.
Here we go. But that's the point of this series. Will it cheddar? So maybe it will not cheddar. We'll see.
We went ahead and added that water. As much as our bodies were telling us, no, don't do it, we decided to add it anyway. And that was around the time we added our rennet too. That's about a teaspoon. And then we just let it all hang out again for another 45 minutes. We want to try to keep it warm, but only at about 90 degrees while we wait for that rennet to set the curds.
89, so I will shut that off and possibly even take it off the stove.
So after about 45 minutes, those curds are set. We're looking for a break in the curds when we're putting our knives through the curds. We just want to do about a quarter inch, an inch. There's no right way. Yeah, we just break them up into squares, and it usually turns out okay in the end. This is our favorite part to cheese making, and that's stirring the curds. So we have to fight over it, of course. So we do a little Rochambeau and see who gets to stir the curds. And for good reason, because look at these curds. Look how beautiful and velvety they look. And of course, you can sneak a bite. There's no right or wrong way of stirring these curds. Just make sure you have clean hands. If you're going to use your hands to stir the curds, make sure they're very, very clean. I just love that they look like marshmallows. So you're going to be stirring for quite a long time. You want to raise the temperature about 2 degrees every 5 minutes for like an hour until you hit 100 degrees. And when your curds like this, look like this, when they're shrunken down, they crumble. We had a little taste test, and this is what we thought.
Whoa.
Oh my god.
This is so good.
That's good.
This is so good.
Wow.
So far, so
It's
good.
everything bagel.
Oh yeah, in a curd. Wow, that's good.
Once the curds are at the right consistency, you just want to drain out all of that whey. We do it one little bit at a time because it's heavy. That curd mass is starting to look nice and compressed, but we're going to still put it in the oven for a little bit to compress a little bit more and get set for the next process, and that's the cheddaring process. The cheddaring process is really cool. You want to keep your curds warm this entire time. That's part of cheddar cheese making. You want warm curds, but basically you divide it up into 3 parts and you want to stack them. And over the next 2 hours, every 15 minutes, you are rearranging that stack and flipping them and restacking. The consistency of these change over the course of that 2 hours. It's cool. Crazy. Yeah, it's so cool. So as you can see here, we are taking it in and out of the oven every 15 minutes, just rearranging it, stacking, restacking, flipping them, flopping them, pouring out all the whey, because with whey, it kind of makes your cheese bitter. So pour out any excess whey and just keep stacking. And take a look how different these look. By the end of the night, or by the end of this process, these are flexible. They're kind of rubbery. They get the same feel of like raw chicken, which is kind of gross, but it's true. They kind of feel like a raw chicken, and they're kind of gross. this next step, after you reach that flexibility look to the cheddar cheese curds, is you want to break them up into bite-sized little shreds. So these are making individual curds, and we're just tearing them up. You could use a knife, but we like to use our hands. We're very tactical creatures. So we're tearing it up and leaving it in the oven to keep warm. And this small part of the cheddaring process is to salt it and stir it every 10 minutes for like 30 minutes. And try not to be tempted to sneak curds at this point because it's so delicious.
It's so delicious.
Salted curd. So it's about 5 tablespoons of salt,
about a tablespoon per gallon.
Yeah. Then we decided to add the pale, everything
disgusting,
everything bagel seasoning from that boiled water.
This added a really beautiful color
It did.
to this, and I just thought it looked gorgeous in there, and in the curds tasted wonderful.
So to a lined cheese mold, we have our disgusting looking cheesecloth, but I assure you we boil that thing to heck and back before we use it. It's just stained. It's fine. So those curds are going into the cheese press, and then we kind of MacGyvered our own little mini cheese press so that we could put it back into the oven. Our current cheese press is too big to go in the oven, and we really want these to stay warm, especially to get that first initial knitting of the curds. So we just had it they're only at 100 degrees, but that's warm for cheese curds.
Okay.
Eventually, we got it in the regular press, and we forgot to film for the rest of the night because that's pretty much how it stayed in the press. We maybe flipped it once, and the next day.
I'm so excited for this. It's let's get into it. Let's do it.
At this point, it was the first time we had seen our cheese since it was curds just the day before. So we were pretty excited to get this cheese press open and see how our cheese looked.
Oh, the smell is really strong. I don't know how I feel about that, but it smells good. It does. It's gorgeous.
So pretty.
That is so pretty.
It's a good little cake.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is our best cheese yet. It looks gorgeous. I know that the curds tasted very well when it was in the pot, and I'm so excited to break open this thing in a few weeks.